All right, we're back, True Seeker. We got an hour and a half left. This is the Gematria Effect. I'm Zachary K. Hubbard. If you enjoy watching the live stream on YouTube, good news over the break. The air message finally gave up and was able to get it up and running. So that was very interesting. We'll be taking your calls for the rest of the show. If you want to phone in, the number is 213 233 3998. Again, 213 233 3998. And I believe next in line was Texas. Let me go back to Texas. Texas, you're wrong.
Hey, Zach, how are you?
Doing well. How are you?
I'm good. And my first time calling was last week. I want to thank you for your work that you did on Rodney Reed for us.
You're welcome.
I went ahead and downloaded the book, and I got started on that. So the question I had for you today was about what's going on with the Byron Allen case. Have you heard about that?
For the second week in a row, you're enlightening me about something I wasn't aware of. Byron Allen?
Yeah, so it's a big deal in the Black community about Byron Allen, and today the case went to the Supreme Court. It's all about supposed to be about the 1866 Civil Rights Act, and there's a group called ADOS, which ADOS is supposed to be the American descendants of slaves. However, there's a political group that's taken over or that kind of leads it or turned it into a political type of deal. So just based on where I'm at, and I'm just starting in the book, I broke down Byron Allen to the 118, but I wanted to see, one, if you could give me your comments or your feedback on what's going on with Byron Allen and this whole ADOS deal, and maybe some tips for searching your blog, like on past work you may have done on different numbers, because I logged in there and I couldn't really figure out what's the best way to see, like, if there's anything you've done in the past on those numbers once I pull them up.
Sure. When you look at my blog, do you do it on a computer or on your phone?
I did it on my phone.
Okay, so for anybody on my phone, the way to navigate my blog, if you're on your phone, is when you just go to Free to Find Truth. If you scroll to the very bottom of the page, it'll say View Web Version. You got to click that View Web Version button, and then what you'd want to do is go back up to the top, and you'll see that a white search box appears in the top left corner. That's where you can search for what you're looking for. And if you just search for a number, there's about 30,000 posts on my blog. So I'd be a little bit more specific with what you're looking for. But as you get deeper into the book, there is a chapter on the numbers and the meaning behind the numbers too, if that's what you're looking for. So I want to say it's in the first 100 pages. Yeah.
Okay, I appreciate that. So yeah, I'd like to hear your thoughts maybe on what's going on with this, because it's a big deal. He's been interviewing on all these stations. Today he went to the Supreme Court, and it's supposed to be one of these things that's like a make it or break it thing in the Black community.
What stands out right away is his age. He's 58 years old. That special number: Freemasonry, Secret Society, Rosicrucian, they all sum to 58. And then I noticed right away too, the name Byron equals 74, just like Comcast. I see that's who the lawsuit's with. I'm gonna have to do a lot more research on this to go into more depth, but I'm sure there's way more there. So yeah, I'm happy to look at it, and just like I did last week, I'll do more investigation on this. I'll do a blog post, and if I find enough interesting stuff, I'll do a video. I also see that he's from Detroit, the city on the 42nd parallel. So I'll look at this a lot more, and I'll get back to you on that one. So appreciate you bringing it to my attention.
No problem. Thanks for taking my call.
All right. Yeah, you're welcome. You have a good night.
You too. Bye-bye.
All right. Take care. Yeah, in light of the Masonic connections there too, today leaves 48 days left in the year. Again, Freemason sums to 48 in Hebrew and in English. So do some more research on it. Let's go out to Miami. How are you, Miami?
Hello?
Hello.
Can you hear me?
Oh, you're loud and clear. I can.
Hi, Zach. This is Ellie. I'm not in Florida. I'm actually in the Bay Area, in California. I've been on hold almost half an hour, so I don't know if anybody else spoke to you about this, but I have an email from YouTube creators about important changes. I don't know if you've spoken about this. This is specifically regarding the content made for kids. So if you don't say that your channel is okay for kids, then they're going to not, you're not going to be able to profit from that, right? Monetizing and all that stuff. But I'm just going through this and I'm like, I'm thinking in my head, I'm remembering all those disgusting, dirty, pedo videos, and what the hell, where were they then to, protect these kids? And then if you're a truther and you put content out about, the chemtrails, about all the bullshit that's going on, fires, everything, anything that the awakened community needs to know. For example, if something is a false flag, like in Gilroy, and they did that to me. They took my video down because I caught them live on TV, live on the air with the news crew. So, and they cited something about bullying. And I thought that's odd. And now I see it all ties in, and this is going to be effective January 1st.
Well,
tell your thoughts on that.
I believe it started yesterday, because yesterday when I went to do a live stream, I had to check a box that the content was appropriate for children, and it might already be taking effect, because today it wouldn't let me do a live stream for the first hour and a half of this broadcast, and then finally it did. So yeah, it's just another layer of censorship, and that's more and more the direction they're moving. So I'm not surprised.
I'm not either. A lot of people are going to bitch shoot and so forth, and this platform is obviously it's not good for the truth community.
No, it's not. It's not. Almost all the truth tellers of the last 5 years have disappeared from YouTube. They got tired of having their videos censored and deleted. And I don't know if you tuned in earlier, but I was talking about how it's obvious that the truth community is also getting co-opted, because you're seeing these popular channels rise up that are attracting the majority of the attention, and they're exactly what the mainstream media wants, because these people are doing everything that the YouTube truth community is being criticized of: actual hate speech, racism, inciting violence, and I find it real interesting.
Pinning people.
Yeah.
Pinning people against each other, and it's distraction. It's the same thing. We're playing into the distraction. Go ahead.
Well, I find it interesting because, I'm on my 19th channel, and in my opinion, I don't feel like any of my channels should have ever been deleted. But if you tune into if you typed in America First right now on YouTube, there's a live stream going on, and there's this smarmy little kid on there, and he's in 5 minutes he'll say 10 things that'll offend most people. He's very racist, and he's doing Nazi salutes, and you'll see it's amazing. He'll probably get about $500 in super chats in the first 5 minutes you're there, and it just makes you go, "What in the world's going on?" I mean, like, people like myself are getting their channels deleted, and this kid has 12,000 viewers right now, and he's making $1,000 every 20 minutes in super chats. And it's this. I don't know if you know who Owen Benjamin is, but the same thing was going on with him, and it's just like, he's just calling everybody the N-word, and super chats are just flowing in. And you're like, what is this? Everybody's getting their channel taken down, but now all of a sudden there's people who have 12,000 people watching, and they're throwing out, all these racial slurs. And so, I mean, YouTube is just a joke right now. And it's obvious that whoever's behind these channels, that they're trying to build the perception that the mainstream media wants people to have of the online truth community on YouTube. So.
Right, exactly, correct. And the uglier you make us, and the crazier you make us, out to seem, that's what they want. They want us to play into that, and actually we're so not like that, and it's just so sad. And I'm disgusted. I'm tired. And yeah, I do know who that dude is, and I used to be subscribed to him, and I unsubscribed to him because I found him to be quite obnoxious and, you know, whatever, with Joe Rogan and all that other crap. But yeah, I've been following you for a long time, Doc, and I have your ebook, and you're awesome, and I will follow you wherever you go, always. And you know, I appreciate you. That's all.
Well, thank you so much, and I appreciate you too, and I appreciate your call. So call us back sometime soon, and you have a good rest of your evening.
You do the same. Be safe and take care.
All right, will do. Take care. All right, let's see. Philadelphia, thank you for your patience. You're up.
Hey, Zach.
What's up, man?
I wanted to ask you, what did you think about Monday night's game? What did you, because I saw something on there. I didn't really watch it, but I heard that the 49ers in overtime didn't get a single yard.
I think they drove down the field. They got a single. They did because they went down the field and they missed a field goal. They missed a 47-yard field goal. And anyone who watched that game, the 49ers got the first down, and then they didn't give it to them, and they even did a replay and still didn't give it to them to set up the 47-yard field goal shank. But yeah, there was a lot of really interesting things about that game. First of all, it was the day leaving 50 days left in the year, and San Francisco equals 50 in gematria, as does Washington in light of Seattle being from Washington State. But the 49ers were going for their 50th win on Monday Night Football on the day leaving 50 days left in the year in the 50th season of Monday Night Football. And again, San Francisco equals 50. So in a sense, you would go, well, how in the world could the 49ers not get their 50th win in that ritual? But on the other side of the coin, what the Seahawks had going was Seattle was trying to improve to 8-2. Seattle equals 82. By the Seahawks winning, they became 8-2, and Russell Wilson became 8-2 on Monday Night Football all time. Also, it was Washington State's birthday. Washington State turned 130 years old, and Washington equals 130. And Pete Carroll picked up his 130th win in the regular season. Plus, the Seahawks became 5-0 away for the season. And there's even a few other things in there. But, yeah, it was a ritual among rich. And it made it tough to call the game because it's like, well, on one hand, how do they not do the 49er 50 thing? But then on the other hand, how did they not do the Seattle thing on Washington State's birthday? So the game went to overtime 24-24, and Seahawks, using the alphabetic order and rules numerology, equals 24. And if you use the reverse alphabetic order with the rules numerology, Seahawks equals 48. So 24 plus 24, 48 points. And, of course, they won Super Bowl 48, the Seahawks did. So the score looked like a Seahawks ritual going to overtime. And there's a young woman out there listening, Kayla. She actually did a prompt bet for the game to go to overtime because Veterans Day equals 44 and overtime equals 44 and Seattle equals 44. And so anyway, yeah, there was a lot of rituals in that game. Veterans Day also sums to 163, and Jimmy Garoppolo became 16-3 as a starting quarterback in the NFL.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. The whole Veterans Day thing, that slipped my mind too. This is what I'm trying to get here, because like I always say, sports is the main thing. I feel like that is like the main thing amongst everything now. Like they have this thing where they talk about Kaepernick had workouts, and people are still talking like, oh, they're blackballing him and so on and so forth. I mean, it's easy to get people's minds in this, and I think people pay attention more to sports than they pay attention to anything else. So I'm trying to figure out like what is their angle, because they have, if you notice now, all of the divisions are tight now.
Right.
You had Dallas losing to Minnesota. You know, now them and the Eagles are tied for 5-4. Um, you know, the Vikings, the South, they're actually, I think their division, all the divisions are tight,
That's what they like.
and I think that's what they want.
Of course,
Sorry, say it again.
that's what they want because it keeps the narrative interested. It keeps people watching. So, yeah.
Right. So I mean, it's like, I'm looking at things too, and I'm just wondering, like, okay, are all the players in on this, or are some of the players are in on this? And if some of the players aren't in on this, then I mean, how does that work out? Like, it's weird to me because I mean, I'm looking at it, I'm like, okay, it's definitely scripted, no doubt about it. You know, what did you just ran down? I just asked you a simple question about what you think about the game, and you just ran down a laundry list of things. So it's obviously scripted, you know. But you know, it's something I can't put my finger on this, and I'm trying to figure out what that is. But it's just something really weird about this whole thing. And then somehow or another, you know, like you said, what you said, Washington State birthday was on that day.
It was the day of the game, November 11th. Yeah, turned 130 years old, and that's what Washington equals, 130. And Pete Carroll got his 130th win in the regular season. And what's interesting is he also got his 140th all-time win, including the playoffs. And when you run the alphabetic order in reverse, Washington's also 140. So just a perfect ritual on Washington's birthday.
Wow. And then you have the 11-11. It's just ridiculous, man. Of course, you know, I'm going to throw something in there about the Eagles. Now, what are you thinking? What are you getting? How it's going to work out with them going forward?
Well,
because when they're down, they seem like they always win a game or two to stay in things.
Sure. Yeah.
So, what you got? What you think on that?
I haven't done my research for this weekend, but I know it's a Super Bowl 52 rematch this weekend because it's Patriots Eagles. So I'm sure there's a juicy narrative there. I just got to look into it.
Yeah. I'm still looking into this thing with them. I'm kind of stuck on them, you know, with this whole thing because I'm trying to. I need that one little thing to bust it open so I can be able to move forward with everything else that I'm working on with their whole franchise history.
Right.
So I did speak to you about that. I think you said you was going to look into some things too, but you know, you're a busy man with this. Probably didn't get to it. And the impeachment thing that went on today, I don't know what happened with that. Was there any news on that?
They just, you know what they do. They just get up there and talk and talk and talk and talk, and nothing ever happens. I mean, it's the same thing with all these hearings that the government does. It's just like, I'm sure it'll just be more of the same. But they said the whole thing's supposed to wrap up around Christmas time, so this will be drawn out for over a month. So.
Well, I mean, at that point, it's still going to be time to elect a new president anyway, so not too far from it. I mean,
that's still a year away. That's next year. Next year.
Yeah, I mean, you know, he had 3 years. I mean, if he gets impeached, you know.
Well, remember, even if you get impeached, that doesn't mean you're out of office. Bill Clinton got impeached. What's the other president? I can't think of his name right now. 2 presidents have been impeached, but neither one was removed from office. So it's just more stuff, more narrative, more distraction, more stuff to get people worked up.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I just had some questions this week. And hopefully, man, you know, I'll be able to have something this week on this whole thing that I'm looking into with the Eagles. So next week, I'm sorry. So, you know.
Okay.
I just wanted to throw a few.
Well, something I do know is I'm pretty sure that if the Patriots lose, they will be 8-2, and I do know that New England Patriots equals 82. So maybe the Eagles got a fighting chance this week. But yeah, I'll have to take a look at it. So let me know what you find.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, you take care. Have a good night.
All right, man.
All right, see you, man.
All right, thanks.
Okay. Kentucky, you're on.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey, Zach. So I know just off my last call, you guys were talking a little bit about Trump, and I know how the hearings for his supposed impeachment happened today, right? But I was looking at the date, November 20th, in part because it has the key digits 112, and Zionist is 112, Donald's 112, President Donald Trump's 112, right?
Right. Right.
But anyway, from Donald Trump's birthday to November 20th is 159 days. You know what that is?
Mm-hmm.
Donald Trump is 159. Scottish Rite is 159.
Right.
It's also just kind of another thought. Donald Trump was born in 46, and this year he's 73 years old.
Right.
The two kind of main sacrifice numbers.
Right.
So that's kind of something to keep in mind. But I'm not really sure they would do that to him. But whenever you write out November 20th, it equals 218 in ordinal, and Trump in all caps is 218.
Right.
It also equals 88.
Huh. Huh.
Just like the hearings began with 88, and just like Trump is 88.
And
here's the big kicker. Oh, sorry.
I was just going to say, going back to your point about 159, again, the supposed phone call between Trump and the president of Ukraine was July 25th, which is the day leaving 159 days left in the year. So you could be onto something here with the November 20th. That's a good observation. So, yeah, go ahead.
Okay. And here's a little bit more about it. So November 20th is actually going to be Trump's 1,034th day in office.
Impeach is 134. Yeah, make America great again.
Yeah,
impeach.
134. House of Cards, 134.
Right. And
here was another thing I noticed.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
I was going to say, Donald Trump said that if he was ever removed from office, the economy would collapse. So that's interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, good point. And also, I think the only two numbers, whenever you write them out, that equal 118. I'm pretty sure it's 41 and 56. I might be wrong. But anyway, whenever you write out 41, it's 118. November 20th is it's the day leaving 41 days left in the year. And I think that's kind of interesting because from the Ukraine call with Trump to November 20th is 118 days.
Huh.
So, maybe there's something with that. I'm not really sure.
That's interesting.
And, Skull and Bones is 41.
Of course.
So, there could be something with that.
Mm-hmm.
And then the last thing is the big one is 41. And I'm not even going to get started with that. But I guess that's also possible.
Sure. Just never know.
All right. Well, yeah, I just wanted to, make you aware of that date because as soon as I saw these connections, I was like, oh, that's very interesting.
Yeah, that's a really good thought because the impeachment thing was synced up with the World Series, and the World Series ended with the big 159 ritual. The Rockets beating the Washington, D.C. team with 159 points, and the Nationals throwing 159 pitches in Game 7 on the same day. And Donald Trump 159. So, yeah, I'm going to take a look at that. Great work.
Oh, okay, true. Yeah, no problem. And there was one more thing. From how we had the presidential alert on October 3rd.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
I'm not sure if. I'm sorry, I'm actually writing it out. I'm pretty sure impeachment inquiry is 103 in
It is.
production.
It is, and the whole thing started on Trump's 103rd day of his age, right?
Oh, wow. Yeah, I didn't know that, but all right. So in Jewish gematria, whenever you write out October 3rd presidential alert, it equals 1120.
Huh.
Kind of like the date that's coming up.
Huh.
20. And from the alert to 1120 is exactly 59 weeks like Freemasonry.
Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, you found some good stuff there. So November 20th. Gonna have to remember that.
And sorry, but yes, and the alert happened at 2:18, just like, you know, November 20th equals 2:18.
Right.
So
Right.
that's kind of the connections I made.
Well, you made some great connections.
That's all I had.
Appreciate it. All right. You have a good night, friend. Keep up the good work.
No problem.
All right. Take care.
Thank you. Bye.
You're welcome. Now, next up is going to be Pennsylvania. I believe Grove City, it says. Just be patient because the music's about to kick in. After the break, you'll be first up. Then we got Las Vegas. And then actually there's nobody else in line. So if you want to call in tonight, the line's short, 213-233-3998. Again, 213-233-3998. So music should be coming on in seconds. And we will be right back, True Seeker.
We're proud to feature cutting-edge programs like Beyond the Veil with Chris and Cherie Geo, Squared with Brooks Agnew, Paranormal Portal with Brent Thomas, Karen is Raw with Karen Atmisa, Fearless with Frank Castle, Strange World with Mark Sargent, The Eye of Ra with Rob Castaldo, The Infinite Bridge with Billy Ray, Ironworks with Josh Corey, The Cam Figure Show, and none more. Did you know you can listen from any telephone by dialing 641-793-7117 or call into your favorite show toll free at 833 TFR Live. Uncensored talk and news you won't hear in the mainstream media. Truth Frequency Radio, your protection from deception.
Testimony, counterfeit checkmen targeted. I'm Barbara Kusak. The impeachment hearings went public today, and Democratic Congressman Eric Swalwell says the presidential call record is really the aha moment. As Ambassador Bill Taylor said, he never saw a president ask a foreign government to investigate a political opponent.
They are saying, well, this is an incomplete act. He may have wanted to extort the Ukrainians, but he was not successful, so we should let him off. Of course, that is to dismiss the fact that the only reason the aid came through was because the whistleblower complaint 48 hours before the aid came through was known to the White House.
President Trump said he didn't tune in to today's public hearings and spent part of the day meeting with Turkey's President Erdogan.
The president's decision to withdraw U.S. forces from northern Syria allowed Turkey to move in militarily, including attacking Kurdish fighters who helped bring ISIS to heel. Mr. Trump says the ceasefire to protect the Kurds is holding.
That Turkey will continue to uphold what it's supposed to uphold.
Turkey considers many Kurdish factions to be terrorists set on their own homeland, partly in Turkey. Bob Constantini, the White House.
President Trump struck out in the battle to keep his financial records secret from Congress. The federal appeals court denial today likely paves the way for a U.S. Supreme Court case. A massive counterfeit tech ring broken up by federal authorities in California. Correspondent Jim Roop reports the scheme took a huge bite out of Apple's bottom line.
3 U.S. brothers are alleged to be behind the scheme that involved Chinese-made fake iPads and iPhones shipped to San Diego, some 10,000 of them moved. Sent to operatives then around the country and in Canada who would break them first, then exchange them for legit Apple products at Apple stores. They in turn would send the legit products back to China where they would be sold at a massive market.
14 people in all face multiple charges. I'm Barbara Kusak.
This is Truth Frequency Radio. The wicked one, obviously under heavy Masonic influence.
Conditional age. Situation Delta in effect. Please enter your agent number now, followed by the hash key.
Time comes when silence is betrayed.
More for themselves and less for everybody else. But I'll tell you what they don't want. They don't want a population of citizens capable of critical thinking. They don't want well-informed, well-educated people capable of critical thinking. They're not interested in that. That doesn't help them.
Think for yourself. This code has been compromised.
All right, we're back. Truth Seeker. We got an hour left. Question in the chat. Kayla says, do we have the first part of the stream saved? Not in video format, but again, every week on Truth Frequency Radio, the website, tfrlive.com, the website, not the website, the show's archived there. And the way the TFR website works is there's several different people who have shows there. For 10 days after the show airs, anyone can go back and listen to the live stream or the broadcast for free for the first 10 days. And then after that, you have to be a paid for member of TFR to listen to the stream beyond that. So I'm not going to have the first hour and a half on YouTube. I didn't record it because I couldn't get the live stream up, but the broadcast will be saved on TFR's website. So. And I saw another person before the break. They said, hey, did you have the Rockets picked to win tonight? And I was like, uh-oh, why did they not win? Because I thought maybe they were going to go after me. Because, yeah, I did have the Rockets picked to win tonight. And I appreciate that tip because you put a big smile on my face. I had to check the picks tonight. So far, we're flawless. So hopefully we keep it that way. Again, if you're into sports... I got to be honest. I'm really starting to hate sports, decoding them every single day. I mean, it is grueling. But if you're into sports, every day we decode the games, and more often than not, we do very well. So having another great day. But the reason we like the Rockets to beat the Clippers today was because by the Clippers losing, they were going to fall to 1-3 away. And by the Rockets winning, they were going to become 4-1 at home. And LA with the alphabetic order is 13. And LA with the reverse alphabetic order is 41. So the Rockets become 4-1 like 41. LA falls to 1-3 like 13. 41 is the 13th prime number. And what's today? It's the 13th day of the month. So typically every single day, the games are scripted in accordance with the calendar. And I see that we're having call board trouble. So hold on. Let me fix the call board here before I go back out to the callers. Otherwise, this is not going to work. Let me see. I think I got it fixed. Okay. I think we're good to go now. All right. So I just have to remember where we were. I'm tired today. I hardly slept last night. And let me think. I believe it was either Las Vegas or Minnesota who was next. Let me go out to Las Vegas. Las Vegas, what's going on?
I'm sorry, Zach. I thought I was able to pick up a live stream, but it was actually just a recording of a prior show. So I disconnected, and when I figured out it was a rerun, and I called back so I can listen. I'm sorry.
That's okay. No problem at all. All right, I'll let you continue listening. You have a good night, friend. Thanks for calling in. All right, take care. All right.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. All right, Minnesota. Must be Minnesota next. Minnesota, how are you? Minnesota? Minnesota, you're on the air. Yeah, hello.
Yeah, excuse me. First time caller here. Just curious to get your take on this anti-white campaign.
Well, elaborate more. I think I know what you're talking about. All of the headlines in the media of bad white people, essentially. Is this what we're talking about?
Yeah, just in general.
Sure. And trust me, I mean, as a white male, I mean, I know it's real, especially living in a place like the Pacific Northwest in a city like Seattle, where I've been most of the time. I mean, white males are like a no longer needed species. So, I mean, you could say that it's just, I just think it's, to me, it seems like the controllers of this world, they always want to keep people off balance, and culture's always changing, and, fads are changing. And I think that's just where we are in the cycle. Cause I mean, 50 years ago, we wouldn't have been having this conversation. The best thing, you have been at the most privileged position to be a white male. So, but yeah, I mean, I don't know how to explain it beyond that, but I do know what you're saying. So, do you have a thought on it?
No, I just thought I'd ask you and see what your take is on it. It just seems to be everywhere. I mean, I'm just a regular person.
Sure.
Struggles and whatnot.
And I'm just a regular person too. I hope nobody has any other idea about me. I mean, I'm in the same boat as everybody else, but it just feels like everything's been turned on its head, right? And it's like, what's going on with the young people right now? They're telling young boys it's cool to be feminine. They're telling young girls it's cool to be masculine. It's just like everything is backwards, and it's not that. Go ahead.
Yeah, they're just flipping the script then, just keeping everyone on their heels.
Mm-hmm.
And I've noticed this come a lot from white people.
Elaborate on that.
Well, and it maybe has to do with the political, climate and the, anti-Trump. I don't vote. I'm not for or against any of them. They're all puppets, in my opinion. I mean, we've researched that thoroughly and know that it's not legit and hasn't been legit for quite some time, possibly from the beginning. So I think maybe with Trump being in and they ran this narrative, which I think he's playing along with the script. White misogynist and racist and so it's just like it's the script.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree.
So I'm seeing maybe people who are politically sensitive, they they start picking up the narrative and then they go with it, and the media just pumps it out, and the sheeple, they just pick up on it.
They sure do.
Paraphrase.
They sure do. Yeah.
I mean, I get getting it like within the family and whatnot. And it's like, wow, what is going on?
Yeah. Yeah.
So anyway, yeah, I call, calling from Minnesota here. And what's your thoughts on I know you've done a lot of work on Prince, and there's a lot going around about him dressing as his sister Tyka, which looks pretty convincing.
Huh.
And that's maybe seems like a practice.
Huh.
I mean, that Tyka Nelson, it's very, it looks like a pretty bad makeup job.
Huh. I'm gonna have to look into that. I hadn't heard that, but I'm gonna definitely check that out. So interesting.
Yeah. For anyone listening, I guess there was an award show that she was at, and then if you read through the blog, people are just like, I mean, it's 90% talking about it's a really bad get up.
Huh.
So
Okay.
anyway, because it's like a big thing up here.
Sure.
I know it's not here. It's supposed passing, like people were under this hypnotic trance, like zombified by it, and the whole city went purple, and everything was purple rain and whatnot. Talented artists, but it's pretty, I think, pretty dodgy. You know, I mean, the guy's never been seen on film before outside of what, you know, media outlets that he's gone on, and then he was seen on a cell phone outside of Walgreens on the west side of Minneapolis, pacing around and all nervous days before he died. You know, and nobody's caught him on film before. You know, looked like he was in trouble, spending $10,000 a day on drugs, and I don't know if that's possible.
Sure. Yeah.
So,
Right.
yeah, anyway. But there's, you know, like you said, you covered a lot of it. There's a lot of, you know, coding and numerology to it and whatnot, but it's pretty obvious.
I'm definitely going to look into that story. So appreciate it. All right.
Anyway, I guess that's all I had. Just wanted your take on those couple of things. So.
All right. Well, I will definitely look into it. So I appreciate it very much. And you have a good evening.
All right. Appreciate that.
All right. Take care. Let's see here. We got Indiana. Thanks for calling in, Indiana.
Zach.
Hello.
Zach.
You're on, Indiana.
The real French liquor. Yeah, the real French liquor, baby. Still kicking.
Good to hear.
Yeah. Yeah, I know, man. They about had me down for a minute, man. But I won my court cases and continuing on the treks now. And I'm a paper member, and I've get books for people for Christmas. I started to last year, and they're so far out there, man. They may snap, okay?
Sure.
But I'm gonna put some misinformation into the movement, and it would be rude if I commented. The last gentleman said he had a question about like the white race being attacked in America.
Yeah, go ahead.
That'd be rude.
No, go ahead.
Thank you. No, thank you very much. Okay, I don't know much of anything. I'm just a record guy, and that's for real. But I call pretty straight. And after looking at these things from all angles for 40 years, just because I'm my kind of guy, it looks like to me right after the Second World War was, they said, come to a conclusion, there was something else that started. And I think if something else was realized in 1947 in the month of September and October that year. And from those acts that got done there in 1950 and the 1917 Act being repeated over and over again, they're in there to vote on every year. You know, if you read those really closely, it shows that, you know, the citizen looks like, to me, they're writing, we're the enemy. The people here that live in the continental United States. And after 45, 47, we have a new form of government, whatever, you know, come into effect. And if you look up in Law's Black Dictionary, it gives definitions in law about what a senator is, what a congressman is. It blows your mind. And this thing's acted out in D.C. every day with all these images and signs and offices. And if you know what all this is happening with the sun and horse and set and how their hidden religion is, it's just amazing. It's some form of magic, I guess. And now with technology, they put it all over the world. So this, whatever this form is, it rules. It's all, you know, it's on a script, man. It is. It's on a script.
Mm-hmm.
Never forget that. But, you know, with the white man's been attacked in Caucasians, my age group, 6 times, you know, fold over the other, you know, segments of our population. Why is that? They like to erase the past as fast as they possibly can.
Mm-hmm.
And if you'll read the most Dogma and all these other books that just they're out there for everybody, if you look at it, you find it. Discern the English. I don't know who wrote the thing, but it's a script book. I think that, the versions of all our books, they changed. I look at books from 1960 back, and it's a whole different story. You go back to the turn of the century, it's completely different how to teach math and English, and and it's so simple. Anybody can get it. But what they teach these kids today, it's impossible. It's just a program to take the United States in the wrong direction, man. It was really through in gear in 1970. And since then, I don't think that we've been on decline, and also we haven't moved the technology since 1980. So that's the world we live in, and so they have a way of devising and throwing this magic out there. They just, technology. So I think the answer is to study this stuff and hey, let's learn it too. Let's learn what they do, because it happens over and over again, and it's incredible, the accuracy.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm really pumped about being back in network, and I'm back.
Glad you're back. Thank you, friend. Appreciate that.
Okay, I gotta get caught up on. Hey, we got a new gambling casino just opened, just a 2 miles from sports gambling. You know what's getting ready to happen.
Okay. Well, you'll be in shape. You'll be in shape. So.
I'm gonna do however it works, man. I'm a newbie when it comes to that. I listen to you nightly, but I didn't have the money. I'm on disability. We'll make it happen now.
Sure.
Thanks for all your work, Zach.
You're welcome.
You're the man.
All right, friend.
Later.
Appreciate your call. You have a good night.
Keep up the good work.
Will do. Thank you. You do the same. You take care.
You're doing great.
Appreciate that. Thank you very much. From Indiana to Tennessee. Tennessee?
Hey, what's going on, Vic?
What's going on? Thanks for calling in.
Man, this is my first time calling in, bro. You've been my guy since, I would say 2013. I've been here with you, my first time calling in, though.
Appreciate
How you
that.
doing tonight, bro?
I'm doing well, and I always appreciate when there's a first-time caller. So thank you for supporting, and thank you for phoning in.
Oh, yeah, I support a lot, man. I think I bought like 2 or 3 books. I haven't got past the first chapter yet, but I bought 3 books.
Well, thank you so much.
Yeah, I'm with you, bro. I'm supporting you 100%. I don't know if you know this, man. You're my friend on Facebook, and every time I would see a significant number that says 33, 47, or something like that, I will tag you in. I don't know if you noticed. You probably get a lot of those.
Well, I don't go on Facebook enough, but I'm sure I've seen them before, so I appreciate that. Thank you.
Oh yeah, bro. Hey, I called to talk to you about the Memphis and Oregon. I'm in Memphis right now. Just called to talk to you about the Memphis and Oregon game, bro. Did you make a post about it on your blog? I didn't see your blog today.
So Memphis won tonight. Memphis won tonight, and there's a really good pattern with the Memphis Grizzlies. What's that?
No, Memphis and Oregon.
Oh, the basketball game last night. Yeah. I actually got that game wrong yesterday because I saw Penny Hardaway, the coach of Memphis, could get his 25th win, and it's a Nike tournament, and he used to be Lil Penny. And Oregon happens to have Oregon has gematria of 74. Memphis lost with 74 points last night, playing in Oregon at the Phil Knight tournament against the Oregon Ducks. But what I liked in that game for Memphis was I saw Penny could get his 25th win, and Oregon does also have a gematria of 25. So I was thinking he might pick that up against Oregon. But that 25 number plays real hard with the Memphis Grizzlies. They won tonight and made Charlotte 2-5 against the Western Conference. So yeah, I got the Memphis basketball game wrong though yesterday.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think the 7-4, which Oregon is some for 7-4, which is the 33rd state, correct?
That's correct. Yep.
And also another thing that I noticed in the box score, Memphis shot 38% both first half and second half. I was like, well, there you go. That's the script right there.
Oregon equals 38. Yeah, Oregon equals 74 with the alphabetic order and 38 with the alphabetic order and rules numerology. So that's funny that and by the way, that huge upset in college basketball yesterday, that huge upset, Evanston over Kentucky. The coach for Evanston, he used to play for Kentucky, and his full name equals 67, just like how Evanston won with 67 points yesterday, and it was his 33rd game as a coach too. So.
Right. Well, Zay, man, I appreciate the time, brother. One thing that I want to tell you, man, keep going, bro. The thing that I noticed with a lot of people, especially people that like to make sports bets or whatever, or even a lot of your critics, they seem to point out when you do like get a game wrong, even though you have countless of predictions. But you know, as soon as you get a game wrong, that's what they want to point out. You know, and I want to say to everybody that's listening, it's not about the wins or losses or the predictions. I'm sorry. It's about knowing the script, knowing the code. This is the code to life in the life that we live in. It's not all about wins and losses that you know you gamble your bet. So they cannot base it. You know, I'm sorry, I'm losing myself. But they can't base it off just wins and losses with you, bro. They need to know that this is the script to our life that we're living. And that's what it's all about.
Absolutely. You're right on, friend. I appreciate your call very much, and thank you for supporting for as long as you have. And be sure to call us back again. It was nice to talk to you.
Oh yeah, brother. I will, man. I appreciate y'all. Everybody, y'all have a good night, man. It's all love.
All right, you take care, friend. Have a good night.
You too.
Yeah. There's certain patterns that are really persistent with certain sports teams. Like he's out there in Memphis. Memphis Grizzlies equals 97, which is the 25th prime. And it's like anytime a 25-year-old comes up in a game with the Memphis Grizzlies, it just hits. So far, there's been 2 games where the opportunity presented itself. They played Minnesota earlier this year, and it hit. And then tonight was the second time their Charlotte game. But and I had that in my mind. I didn't know if it was as persistent with the college basketball team, but it's funny you asked me about that Memphis game last night. I do get some games wrong, but we do a lot better than like tonight. We're 5-0, so can't go wrong with 5-0. Let's go out to West Virginia. I had a troll call in from West Virginia today. I hope this isn't that same troll. Let's find out. What's up, West Virginia? West Virginia? You're wrong. West Virginia? It might be the same person. Okay. All right, West Virginia. Sorry, but I'm going to move on. All right, let's go out to Maine. Maine, you're wrong.
Oh, hey, Zach.
Hello.
First time caller here. And yeah, so I just wanted to point out a date that I've kind of had marked on my calendar for a while because it seems to be pretty suspicious. But I've been looking at November 16th this year.
Okay.
And that date kind of seems to have a lot of interesting properties. I left a super chat in your chat probably like half an hour ago with a point I'm about to make. But so if you do a days between date calculation from July 4th, 1776 to November 16th, 2019, which is coming up in a few days, it's 88,888 days. And that also happens to be the day that, that leaves 45 days in the year. And I don't know, it kind of seems like a really interesting day, especially given that Trump's going through his impeachment hearings right now. Yeah, I think I saw a news article this week that said he's in the 8th week of his impeachment hearing. And, he's, president number 45, something big happening on the day, we have 45 days left. And
sure.
Yeah, man, just wanted to know if you've been looking at that date at all.
Well, I did not realize that. So thank you very much for the super chat. Sorry, I'm not normally looking at the chat when I do the live stream, so apologies that I didn't see it. But yeah, I mean, that's a really great observation. Donald J. Trump in Sumerian gematria is 888. I forget what book it was that he released, but there was a book that he released that was either 888 weeks from election day or inauguration day. I'd have to go back and look. It was one of those two things. And of course, Trump's also 88, like the Republican Party's 88. So, yeah, I hear exactly what you're saying. And so another caller made a good point about November 20th.
It's a really big day.
Yeah, November 16th.
Yeah, and what I also wanted to mention is that, I saw your videos talking about Billie Eilish and, some of the music videos that she's released and the symbolism and the numerology built into that. Well, I started looking at the album that she released this year, which is called When We All Fall Asleep, Where Do We Go? It was released on the 88th day of the year, March 29th. And the eighth song of the album is called Eight. And the gematria of the album name in English ordinal is 320. Just like how November 16th is the 320th day of the year. To me, it kind of seems like all of this stuff might be pointing
wait,
to
pause real quick.
super big day.
The commercial snuck up on us. We'll be right back, everybody. Sit tight.
Extendivite, a 7-herb combination made from garlic, cayenne, hawthorn, bilberry, ginkgo biloba, valerian, and milk thistle. Extendivite feeds our body with the right nutrients to keep us healthy. Just listen to what Arthur has to say.
I was just calling to tell you what a great product you have. I had used this about 10 years ago after I had congestive heart failure. And they fixed me up and got me going for the last 10 years. Lately, I've been having heart trouble again. So I placed another order because this was the only thing that ever worked. And I just wanted to let you know that you have a great product.
To order, call 1-877-928-8822. That's 1-877-928-8822 or visit heartdrop.com.
Extend your life. Extend your life. So, you love talk radio, then you'll love TalkStreamLive.com. TalkStream Live is always on, 24/7, with the best streaming talk shows. Find your favorite talkers and discover some new ones. It's free, readily available online or on mobile with any smartphone or tablet. Finding your favorite talk shows all in one place has gotten a whole lot easier. Just go to TalkStreamLive.com. Be sure to download the free app from Google Play or the iTunes App Store.
If you have hard water, the Lime Scale not only leaves white spots, it clogs pipes and breaks down appliances, costing you hundreds of dollars in energy and wear. Eliminate Lime Scale and other water issues like brown staining and bad odors with HydroCare water products available from Wave Home Solutions. Wave's affordable water systems don't use salts or chemicals. You'll love the way your water tastes, smells, and looks. Satisfaction guaranteed. For more information, go to bestwater123.com. That's bestwater123.com.
He was the deputy director of MI6, Britain's most senior diplomat. He was knighted by the Queen and in charge of thousands of highly trained spies. But he was also a member of the Paedophile Information Exchange. He had 45 diaries full of sex fantasies with children. His friend was the private secretary of Margaret Thatcher. He strangled a child and hit another with his car. He raped young boys and organized orgies with children for other politicians.
The Enigma Channel, intelligent television for planet Earth. EnigmaTV.com.
Real people, real radio.
Initiating the truth frequency.
This is Truth Frequency Radio.
All right, we're back, True Seeker. I was sleeping there for a second. I forgot to mute it. They're probably going to end up taking the live stream down after it's been up for a minute for the copyright strike. That's the exact same song they got me for the other week, too. So annoying. Anyway, I'm glad it didn't terminate the live stream there. But the other week when that song was on for like 10 seconds, I can't believe I just did the same thing. They ended up taking down the video. So if it does get taken down, I'll get it back up. But people were saying over the break, I saw in the chat that they're having trouble hearing the callers. I have the exact same setup I had last week, and you guys said it was great. Now, I can turn the volume up even louder. I was just worried it'd be too loud. But anyway, instead of babbling on about that, we'll go louder volume. We got 30 minutes left. And last caller was making a great point. He got interrupted by the break. Caller, I'm coming back to you. If you could finish your thought in a minute or less. There's plenty of people on hold, and I want to get these other voices in here before the end of the show, but you got the floor again. You're back on.
Sure, Zach. So yeah, what I was saying is that Billie Eilish's new album that was released earlier this year on the 88th day of the year, whose 8th song is called 8. The gematria of that album name is 320 in English ordinal, and 320 points to November 16th of this year, since it's the 320th day.
Right.
And, from everything that I've seen up to this point, it seems like, November 16th is going to be, a very significant date in terms of kind of like the symbolism and the numerology that they've been putting out constantly over the past, several months at the very least. If you think about last week, we had that story of the Super 8 cleaner killing that worker at Buffalo Wild Wings. And, there was also another movie put out, I believe it was back in 2015. The movie was called 88, and the movie was 88 minutes long. And I did a date calculation from the release date of that movie to November 16th, 2019 is a span of 1,776 days. And during the break, I was looking at some of the chats talking about what I was talking about, and someone mentioned that 1776 is equal to 2 times 888. So it seems like, there's this whole America ritual that might be starting to unfold in the next few days. And I think that November 16th has a good potential of being, a pretty serious day.
Sure.
And one last thing I'd like to mention is that Billie Eilish actually just published a new song tonight. And if you look at the name of the new song, it has gematria of 88. It's called Everything I Wanted, and I tuned into the premiere of it, and I kid you not, the album art of that one song is the Golden Gate Bridge in some sort of abstract form. And in the first part of the song, she's actually talking about how she had this dream where she climbed up to the top of the Golden Gate Bridge and, jumped off to commit suicide. And all these people were watching, but no one really cared, and no one really, thought twice of it. And I don't know, I've just been noticing a lot of disturbing symbolism being put out recently, especially with this 88 theme, given that Super 8 day
Sure.
coming up in
Well,
few days. But
in light of that being the day leaving 45 days left in the year, Golden Gate's also 45, I believe Bridges as well. And then you bringing up the 1776 thing reminded me that the California earthquake on July 4th was 1,776 days from the last major California earthquake. And California as a state, California, just using the alphabetic order, sums to 88. And of course, she has that music video with Los Angeles burning. So I'd imagine if it is pointing to anything, it would be an event in California. So very interesting.
Yeah, and in that song she talks about remember when I told you that the water is going to be rising and fires are going to be burning on California and that kind of stuff. And it's like, well, maybe she really means what she says,
Yeah, don't say I didn't warn you. So appreciate it. Yeah, great observations. I'll look into. I got 2 days to look into now more. So great work. Are you posting this research anywhere?
I haven't posted it anywhere officially. I mostly just write all this stuff down in my own notebooks. You know, every once in a while I'll leave a comment on some of your YouTube videos with some of the things I've discovered, but yeah, it's mostly just personal notes and research that I keep. But you know, maybe I should start publishing.
Well, when the website launches
I
here,
found some really interesting things.
when this website launches, there's a website launching for a community of truth seekers. There'll be a place for people to post whatever's on their mind. So I'm hoping a lot of you will join that site. And if you want to post research like this, that'd be awesome. So appreciate it, friend. I'm gonna keep it moving. Okay. All right. Well, call us back and keep up the great work. I appreciate it, friend. You have a good night.
Yeah, thank you. You too.
All right. Take care. Okay. Let's go out to Minnesota. Minnesota, you're on.
Hey, what's going on, Zach?
Hey, what's up, man?
Can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Hey, thanks for taking my call.
Of course.
Yeah, thanks for taking my call. Long-time supporter, first-time caller. I was on hold for a bit, so I kind of forgot what I wanted to talk about. But yeah, I've been in this so-called truth community since I was a teen, and I've definitely seen it. Definitely seen a lot. I did go to Philadelphia to check out that Free Your Mind conference a few years ago, Free Your Mind 3, and I met Mark Passio in person. I met a lot of other people in person there. And as much as I appreciate all their work, like I give credit where credit is due. You know, I was Alex Jones supporter a long time ago. It just seemed all like they would give you a lot of good stuff, but you know, they would poison it at the end. And so that's where I'm kind of coming from. But I'll let you get to the next call, but I'm sorry. Kind of forgot what else I wanted to say.
Well, that's okay, friend. We'll be back next week. And, you know, I do live streams, so you can always call us back. But please do call us back. So no problem. There's always next
Thank
time.
you, sir.
All right. You have a good night, friend.
Appreciate the work.
All right. Take care.
You too. Bye.
Yeah. And the Philadelphia event I was supposed to attend, it wasn't Free Your Mind, but it was related. And I actually had somebody reach out to me before I got disinvited, and they urged me really not to go because they said the people at the Free Your Mind conference are a bunch of a-holes. And he said, trust me, those same people are going to be there, and they're going to give you a hard time. He goes, I think you're getting set up. And I don't know, maybe they were right. So it didn't happen, though. I am so bad tonight. I am having trouble keeping – this is what happens when you're tired. I believe – I don't want to skip somebody. Let me go out to Pennsylvania real quick to make sure I'm not skipping somebody. Pennsylvania, were you waiting?
Yes.
How are you?
Doing, Zach?
Doing well. Thanks for calling in.
I'm good. Hey, I tuned in a little late. Had you had any thoughts on the game tomorrow night, the football game?
I'm trying to think. What is the game? Tomorrow's the game in Mexico. Chiefs. No, it's not.
No, tomorrow's the Brown Steelers game.
Oh, Brown Steelers. That's right. Yeah, I still got to finish my research on that. I don't have any thoughts right now, so haven't done the homework.
Okay.
Yeah. Anything else?
I had a few things that I come across.
Oh.
Let's get a little started.
Yeah, go ahead.
I found a post that you had on your blog from July 17th of last year, and it was all about that specific date and how it relates to Freemasonry.
Oh, okay.
It just so happens that Mason Rudolph's birthday is on July 17th.
It sure is. Yeah. Yeah. And Mason equals 17, and he led the Steelers to their 17th straight win on Monday Night Football. It's just such a joke. So, yeah.
Right. Yeah, there's quite a bit going on tomorrow night.
Yeah. Yeah.
Tomorrow's date numerology is 64 and 37. And a Steelers win would make the Steelers 6-4.
Mhm.
and the Browns 3-7.
There's a good sign right there.
Steelers
Yeah.
can become 10-3.
Okay.
Yeah, there's quite a bit. I guess I'll let you do the work.
Okay. Well, yeah. Good observation.
Great.
So yeah, those are the types of things I look at. So yeah.
Yeah, I have one other question. I've heard you talk about how the first 144 decimal points of pi sum to 666.
Right.
Have you ever looked at any of the other decimal points? Because I wrote out the first 144 decimal points just because I wanted to verify that.
Uh-huh.
And I found some interesting synchronicities with some of the other numbers.
I haven't taken the time to do that. So yeah, tell me, what did you find?
Yeah. Well, I have the whole sheet in front of me. I can tell you what each one equals, but I guess, let's see. The first 15 sum to 77.
Okay.
The first 22 sum to 108. The first 25 sum to 118. The first 45 sum to 228. The first 66 sum to 322. The first 77 sum to 365. I'm not really seeing anything else that jumps out at me.
Sure. Well, that's really cool that you took the time to do that. So yeah, I haven't taken the time to do anything like that, and I bet you there is a lot of little hidden things in there. So yeah, call us back, and if you find any more, I'd be curious to hear what else you observe. So very cool.
I'll look into it more.
All right, friend. You have a good night.
All right, thanks, man.
All right,
Have a
take
good
care.
night.
Yep, take care. All right, let's see. Killeen, Texas. Tragedy that back there in the 80s.
Yeah, what's up, Zach?
What's up, man?
Colleen, actually, I'm actually out in the house.
Oh,
I've been a subscriber. I've been riding with you for a couple of years now, man. I read your book. I'm very excited about it. I have a history in the military, and I also have a history in the music industry. And I just wanted to drop some gems, man, some cool shit. Like, with your code, man. Well, not your code. This code that's already here. I heard people call it technology or whatever. It's really there's like we always talk about, it's the organic side that connects your whole life and things and what's available to you. And I think people need to just take time and do the self-knowledge and just do the numbers, maybe save a copy of the website so they don't put their personal information on there. Just research yourself. The stuff will even line up with things in your birth chart. It's bananas, where you were born, all that. But also, I like hip hop a lot, so I use it to decode things, like Jay-Z's album 444. And like 444, when you know that shirt he wore that one time that said, "Do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law," the whole Thelema 93 thing. That's what 444 equals in English ordinal and Jewish ordinal. It's like easily broken down. You look at Jay-Z, the word Jay-Z and Mason cross paths in 2 of the 4 ciphers. Another cool thing is like the word music and 7 has crossover in like 3 of the 4 ciphers. And in Western music, there's 7 whole tones.
That's right.
It's really kind of cool. On the other tip, Hollywood and Holocaust have the same numbers, and all 4 ciphers just reversed. And so with this code, people can see through the madness, but they can also use the organic side and just link things that's going on in their lives,
Sure.
It's really cool. It lets you step out. I found this knowledge because I was praying, and I was like, God, show me your vision for my life. And then all of a sudden, this popped up into my, and it bodies every conspiracy, whatever, all these fake truth seekers. This knowledge bodies all of it. And you're about to start reaching a whole new level of people too, man, like educated folks that feel like something's wrong. I feel like people have to really go with their gut these days. Follow your instincts more than anything. It's faster than your brain. Your gut will get it first, then your brain will pick up on it next. So that's all I got to say, man. Keep doing your thing, man. I always look forward to your stuff, man. You keep guys like us going. Some of us are really out here in the field, you know what I'm saying?
Sure.
So I probably won't check in for a while, but I'm out here making things happen.
Sure.
All right. Have a good one, man.
Appreciate it, friend. Really appreciate your call. You have a good night. All right, take care. And what he said about 7 and music with the overlap, I noticed that when I first began this research, and I thought that was really interesting because I was just trying to figure out why this would be done, why there'd be why anyone would take the time to encode numbers behind words. And I just started thinking about it because I mean everything in this world is mathematics and frequency and energy and patterns, and I mean it's essentially what music is. So it's like this code is the invisible music to language. Wait, I'm tired. Did that make sense? Invisible music to language? No, that doesn't make sense. I'm too tired. It's like the numbers behind the words. They're like I guess it is like the music of the language. It's like an invisible silent symphony. I don't know how else to put it right now. I'm too tired. We'll save it for next week. Let's go out to Georgia. Georgia, you're on. Georgia? It's a rainy night in Georgia. Must be listening. All right, let's go out to New York City. It's Michael who won $300 on the Dolphins. What's up, Michael?
Hey, Zach, how's it going? Hey, I just want to call in. Did you hear about the Kodak Black they reported that Kodak Black got 46 months in prison?
46, huh? Rap equals 46. I didn't know that.
Right.
I'll have to look it up.
And Kodak Black equals 199 to 46 prime.
There you go. Nice decode.
Yeah, and they were sure to mention, 46 months, not like 4 years or however long it was.
Prison also
They
equals
put that
46.
in there.
Prison equals 46 now that I think about it. So, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but that's all I had, though.
I'll look more into it. I appreciate it, Michael. You have a good night.
All right, Zach, you too.
All right, take care, man. Michael was filling the Dolphins, getting to 2-7 this weekend. Miami equals 27. They're hosting Super Bowl 54. They dropped the Colts to 54. I know Michael's a Colts fan, so that must have been tough to bet against them. But all right, let's go out to Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Well, what's up, Zach?
What's up, man?
I had a quick question, man. Have you been looking at the Jesuit calendar and how I guess it starts? The New Year's really starts in March and spring instead of January. They have it start. So I guess everybody kind of like zodiac and stuff is all messed up. So
That's the Julian calendar. That's the Julian calendar. That's the old calendar that we were on. Yeah, that's the calendar that makes more sense. I mean, it makes more sense for the new year to start when all the plants start blooming. So they moved it. Our calendar doesn't make any sense. Why is the new year start when everything's dying? So yeah, that's the old calendar. But yeah. The same time, I always make that point, the same time that English was standardized as a 26-letter alphabet is the same time the world was converting to the Gregorian calendar. And I swear that's why the language in this calendar is so perfectly in sync. I think they did it all as a devious plot. So.
Yeah, because like if you do like the research, kind of like with the Julian calendar, it kind of adds a different code and everything is like 2 months off. Like the new year that's in the calendar that's regular in the regular calendar, it starts in January, but to March that's 2 months.
Mm-hmm.
So everything is synchronized with 2, I guess, divided and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. There's a lot of interesting syncs between the Gregorian and Julian calendar, so I do that sometimes. Yeah.
And have you heard about I've been watching Apex TV. They've been doing a lot about time travel and stuff. But they said that Yolanda Renee King, which is Martin Luther King's daughter, will be the president in 2028.
Interesting. Interesting. So I'll have to look that up. I haven't heard that one yet.
Yeah, it's like it's a YouTube channel, Apex TV. They do a lot of people time traveling, saying that time travel started back in 1980s.
Huh. Well, it's interesting. I mean, I'm an open-minded person. It's possible. So I'll have to look
But that's
into
all
it.
I had to say. And
All right. Well, I appreciate it, friend. Thanks for the heads up. You have a good night.
all right, thanks.
All right. Yeah, you take
too,
care.
man.
All right. Appreciate it. All right. Let's go out to California.
Hi, Doc. How's it going?
It's going well.
Couple of last week you talked about the criminal system. Criminal system, justice system is like corrupt.
Mm-hmm.
Or you said the criminals. And I took a class on how they talk about how the court system is corrupt and it's racist. But it's not a popular thing. Not too many people know about that. So my question is, how did you know that the court system is like there's a lot of criminal racism or you said criminal activity by the people who like the judges and lawyers?
I became privy to that as a young child. My sister's 12 years older than me, and that was kind of her big thing when she was in high school. She did a big research project on that, and I was just a little kid, and I was listening to her talk about it, and then I looked up to my my big sister when I was a little kid, and as soon as we started doing reports and written reports and research things, that was something I was into. So I was writing about those things as a young person, probably in 3rd and 4th grade, and so yeah, that's just been something that I've been aware of since, because of where I grew up and having an older sister and being from the neighborhood I was from. So yeah, it's just one of those things front and center.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, I was wondering. That's all I was curious.
Yeah. I think a lot of people are aware though of how racist and unjust the criminals. I mean, unless the type of people who live under a rock, but I mean, I feel like it's pretty well known.
I was in before I took. Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, you go ahead.
Yeah, well, I mean, before I took the class, I wasn't really too aware that there's like racism. There's a lot of racism involved as far as the judges. And
it's insane, man. It's insane.
They wrongfully prosecute people. People are in jail for no reason.
Yeah, man.
Because people are black people in jail and they haven't done anything.
Yeah, and
that's crazy. I wasn't really rich. Yeah, I didn't know that too much.
It's terrible. So, I mean, rich white kid gets busted with pot, he gets nothing. Poor black kid gets the same thing, and he ends up in jail for a year or worse. So, yeah, I mean, it's a joke.
Yeah, exactly. That's what happens.
So,
yeah.
All right, man.
And,
appreciate it.
Crazy. All right, thanks.
All right, yeah, you have a good night.
Bye.
All right, take care. Yeah. And something else that happened when we grew up, my sister and I, we were the only white kids in the neighborhood. And my sister, she had 3 different boyfriends growing up. One of them she spent over 10 years with, but they were all black men. And one of them, since he was part of my life for 10 years, he was like my big brother. And he was in a situation where he got pulled over and he didn't have a gun on him, but the police said he had a gun in the vehicle, which wasn't even true. And we had to go bail him out of jail. I mean, so I got to see how it happens firsthand. And it's a messed up world, man. Criminal justice system's definitely racist. All right, let's go out to California. California? Maybe just listening.
Hello.
Oh, you're on. What's up, California?
Hello, how are you doing?
Doing well. How are you?
I'm good. I was calling. I'm a lot older than you. And when I was younger, I used to read the newspapers and they didn't make sense to me. And I used to wonder why they had these different numbers all the time. One time I read an article where this track star, his niece, went to IHOP early in the morning, and she was like 12 with her family, and they said she got shot at 4:00 in the morning. So I'm like, that doesn't even make sense. So a lot of the news articles didn't make sense to me. I used to have a copy of the articles, but in my different moves, I lost some of them. So I just wanted to let you know that. And I did buy this book earlier this year. And now, like, by me reading the book and remembering all those news articles that I had read when I was like in high school and junior high school, now it all makes sense.
Well, you and I had the exact same experience because I used to always wonder why they stuck the numbers in the stories that didn't seem to need to be there, and a lot of the stories didn't make sense. I looked at the same thing for years and years and years, and then finally I found this word gematria, and I was like, I wonder if this could be something to it. And I was like, oh my goodness, this must be what's been going on all this time. So, and sure enough, it is. But yeah.
Yeah, you guys, my family, I'm like, do you guys see this? I'm like, this doesn't even make sense. I'm like, why is this even in the newspaper? Like, and nobody would, like, listen to me. And so, like I said, I did have articles from back then because I was going to try to figure it out one day. But I did find your channel.
Well, great last call. We ran out of show. All right. Thank you so much. You have a good night. Thank you for calling in. All right, Truth Seekers, that's the end of the show. And I am really tired. Normally I stay on after, but I should go to bed because I don't know what was wrong with me. I couldn't sleep last night. So anyway, appreciate everyone tuning in, and be back tomorrow. So if I can make the time tomorrow, I want to address this. I want to address what Google's up to. You know, it makes me sick, you know, seeing this 21-year-old kid, you know, calling people racial slurs and doing Nazi salutes and, you know, saying he wants a whiter America and he wants people to stop mixing race. And it's just like, anyway, and this guy's getting 12,000 views and all these super chats are coming in. It just, the whole thing makes me sick. I'm just like, okay, I have had all these channels deleted for supposedly hate speech when I don't even do hate speech. And this dude's doing legit hate speech and he's pushing all this crap. And all these people are, I mean, he's getting media attention and it's just, I mean, it's just such an obvious setup and psyop. It's exactly what the truth community is being stereotyped as. He's this young little Catholic kid. He's probably a Jesuit. He can speak well. He's got the gift of gab, that's for sure. But he's just a little smarmy, racist, and yeah, man. I mean, it pisses me off because I've been deleted so many times and so much valuable information is being taken down. And, you know, I can't even start my live stream tonight. You know, like I just keep getting this error message that my live stream won't start. And I even tried it on my backup sports channel, getting the same error message. It's just so obvious that it's you know, tampering and censorship. And it's like, how much more do they need to censor me? Nobody gets any notifications. Almost nobody knows when I post a video. And I mean, look, how many people are watching? 300 people? Who cares? Whoop-de-doo, 300 people. You know, not that you guys don't matter. I don't mean it that way, but it's just like we're not reaching anybody. And anyway, meanwhile, the little white supremacist, it's just, and it's not just him too. The whole Owen Benjamin thing's been making me sick. You know, the whole truth community got wiped down the toilet, and then here comes Owen Benjamin. I mean, who is this guy anyway? People say he's a celebrity. I never heard of this guy before, but anyway, he's like some Z-list celebrity who's not funny at all, racist. It's the same thing. So yeah, I'm gonna put together. I bet you my video gets taken down for hate speech. Just playing the clips of these things they say. Just watch tomorrow, or I'm not sure I'm gonna make it tomorrow. I'm gonna make it soon though, just to expose what's going on. But I bet you anything when I make this video, it gets taken down for hate speech. I bet you anything. I bet you I get a strike for playing the clips of what they say. And just watch. They get to do it every single day, and they don't get any type of censorship. But I bet you just for playing their clips, I get a strike. I can almost guarantee it'll happen. So, yeah. All right, we'll leave it there, you guys. And I'm sure I'll be back with something tomorrow. So probably even a live stream. All right, have a good night, everybody. Till next time.